Not that long ago, I was driving my Eldorado here and the brakes went out. I believe the master cylinder has gone bad because if I pump them, it builds up a little pressure and I can almost stop the car. Needless to say, that was an attention-grabbing event. So let's get into fixing it. Upon inspection of the car, I also discovered that the hydro boost line is also leaking. We'll be replacing that too, but that'll be in a separate video. We're just going to worry about the master cylinder today. Okay, I'm hoping you guys can see everything just fine. What I like to do first is break the lines loose, but not take them off necessarily. I just want to break them loose. There we go. Now this car is from Arizona originally, so everything is real clean and dry. I want to make sure I can get everything loose first. Now, unfortunately, there isn't enough room to get a socket on. You can barely get the box end of a wrench in there. I'm going to go ahead and take one off all the way. Keep in mind, brake fluid's really bad on paint, so we want to be very careful when we remove the cylinder. We don't get fluid everywhere. If I'm working on something I care about, I'll get a box ready that I can set the master cylinder in. Undo the nut. There we go. In the box. Out the car. That thing had been leaking for a minute. Yep. Okay. So now it's time to compare the old master cylinder with the new one. Now, one thing, the new one is aluminum, and that's perfectly fine. I've had decent luck with these newer aluminum ones, but we just want to make sure that the ports are the same size, and of course we need to bench bleed the new master. That one is the same. Whoops, that one's the same but wants to cross thread. Another thing we want to do is make sure that the plunger depth is roughly the same. We just want to make sure that they're close. It's pretty near exactly 3/4 of an inch. And that is, ooh, a little shallower. Okay. Now, this one is also full of a bunch of crap. And it looks like maybe that isn't coming back out all the way. They look close enough to me. Now, I like to do it with these plugs in here. And I got a lot of comments last time about how nobody had seen it done that way before. And kind of a shock to me because this is how I was taught. Back in the day, basically every master cylinder I ever bought had the plugs in it so you could bleed it this way. I just fill it halfway. We already have bubbles coming out, which is good. I highly recommend safety glasses at this point. And we're just gonna sit and work that piston. You don't have to go the full throw of the piston, just a little bit. See, our front reservoir is pretty much good to go now. It's not displacing any air. Oh, I think that's it. It is rock hard. The piston only goes in about 3/8 of an inch, and it's rock hard and it stops. That is one properly bled brake master. Now we want to make sure that this is clean. We don't want anything in here. Slide it on. There we go. And make sure it goes in there good. And you can bottom it out by hand. There we go. We want that Guten Tat. We just don't want to see any pressure when we remove these caps, because if we do, that means that that piston is pushing in and we might have to get creative. But a little dripping is fine, that's normal. We just want to do that quick. And of course, we're threading steel into aluminum. We want to be very mindful of cross-threading and over-torquing. Cinch that down. Bump it a couple times, come and look for leaks. And I don't see any. These caps can be really tough when they're new. Whoops. We still need to bleed the brake system. However, the pedal is feeling good. So now I'm all set up here and to bleed the brakes. I've never actually used the pneumatic part on this, so we're gonna try that today. You just hook it on the bleeder screw and open up the screw, and we use compressed air and science to suck the fluid out the master. And you don't want to suck the master cylinder dry. All right, we'll do that again. You can see it, watch it suck the fluid down in the master. Now it works pretty good. One thing to note is if you're working on something that has like an ABS system on it, it might not work. It really only truly works on these older vehicles. But I thought that worked out pretty good. Now we need to do that on all four corners. But you just watched me do this one. It's the same on all of them. The brakes are there, but maybe not quite what I'm used to. Now, before you'd hit the brake pedal and be a whole lot of resistance and it would kind of slow at its own pace. Now, there's a lot of pedal travel, but the car feels like it stops better. I don't know. I'll have to keep an eye on it and double check. I did have to completely re-bleed the brakes. It took me a while. I'm not getting a whole lot of fluid flow out the back. It's possible that that hose is collapsed and bad. So it's been a week and I finally have a new brake hose. Now the weird thing about what the brakes are doing is that when you hit the brakes, I don't know if you can hear that, but you can actually hear air or fluid rushing through the brake hose. I have a hose, so I guess it's time to replace it. So one interesting thing about this hose is that it's like a multi-piece deal. It has two ends, that end and this end, and they kind of thread onto a hose. I don't know how wild I am about that necessarily, but it should be fine. All right, now I'll jack up the car and get to doing this. Oh. Okay, I raised the car up higher. I had to get different jack stands too. Oh, much better. I think we're going to start with the brake lines in the back here. In theory, it'll make less of a mess. Oh, helps if you go the right way. Weird. There's not enough room. Get a line wrench on that. That does not want to come off. That is an interesting decision, Cadillac. Have that set up so you can't possibly get a line wrench on it. Oh, it's loose now. There we go. All right, those are loose. I'm just going to leave that there for now. Hard to say, but that looks rounded off to me. Wow, that is a feat of Cadillac engineering right there. I don't know what's moving. I think I'm just rounding it off. I can't see anything. Oh no, that's spinning. Hot shit. There we go. Alrighty. Now I gotta get that clip out. Will you just come out? Nope. So I get them where they won't come out, which is most of the time for me. Just spin it around to where I can hit it with a hammer, and it comes right out. Sometimes they break. Well, now I'm comparing the old hose to the new hose, and now this isn't a knock on inline tubes or anybody making this stuff, but there's one thing that I already see that is going to make this a little trickier to do. If you look on the old one, right there, see that little guy right there? There's a notch in the frame that will allow that to index to. This is perfectly smooth all the way around. It's not going to self-index, so I'm going to have to come in from behind with a wrench and hold that. I'm going to go ahead and tighten this end up though right now. There we go. And actually, while we're here, maybe we go ahead and dissect this hose. It's junk, anyway. It's not too collapsed. Down halfway. That hole is definitely collapsed, though. I'm going to go ahead and throw this on. You really can hardly see anything anyway, so I'm not going to bother filming. I'm just going to go ahead and get this on there and get that done. I really hope that this is the solution. All right, I got it all back together. Wasn't too bad. The only thing was that clip was a little hard to put in, but I got it. I've already bled the other side. Now we'll see what this side is like. Top off the reservoir. Now we'll hit this. There we go. Now you can see the level in the reservoir going down. Top off the fluid again. Now I'll hit the brakes. Pedal's got a little more travel than I'd like to feel. All right, you watch that and tell me if it moves. Pump, pump, pump. I'm saying pump after I pump. Here we go, on the pump. Pump, pump, pump. Well, the pedal firmed up, actually. think we might be there. Oh, that looks the same. Okay. I think we got it. Now, I don't know why this thing fights me so much to bleed the brakes, but it just does. I also had a leak where the new hose went into the old brake line. It wouldn't seal up. I really had to crank the ever-living shit out of it to get it to actually stop leaking. So that's annoying. But I think at this point we're about there. Pedal feels good. I won't know until I drive the car. I am absolutely filthy, and I got some stuff to pick up. So I'm going to deal with that, and then we'll take it for yet another test drive. Good times. All right, let's see what these brakes feel like. Oh, that's gross. Well, I got schmutz on the steering wheel. Pedal feels very light. But also feels like it stops the car pretty good. Backwards just for fun. Interesting. I think it's working. Slam on the brakes and roller for a little bit and look for grass. Or Creeping Charlie in this case. Yeah. I mean, the pedal feels light, but it seems like the brakes are really working well. So, I don't know. I'm going to actually clean up and then take us for a real test drive and see what happens. All right, let's see what we get here. Hoping for good brakes. Waylon Jennings queued up on the radio. Waylon Jennings' version of Can't You See is far superior in my opinion. Try it right here. Ooh, that feels good. So she feels pretty good. Brakes feel awesome. You know, it's been a few weeks since I've driven this car, so I think I'm going to indulge myself and go for a little cruisy cruise. Had to run up and check on the arena anyway. Probably gonna have to bring the Alce up and mow, but the Eldorado's doing pretty good. That pump is just kind of whiny, and I'm not sure what to do about it. It's full of fluid and everything's looking good. It's just got a whine to it. So, well, I'm gonna keep on cruising because why the hell not? One of these days I'll kill that buzzard. Well, there we go. I think we're finally good. I'm pretty damn happy at this point. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that line. I don't really trust it all that much. I just don't like the added connections in there. That's really just a me thing. And also, while I was right after I filmed at the arena when I left, she kind of stumbled and fell on her face. But it didn't backfire or pop or anything like that, which was weird. I'm kind of thinking maybe the ignition system is starting to give out. But right now, it is stopping good. Better than it ever has. I'm pretty pleased. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing. If you look right here, I'll pick another video out just for you. I think next for this car is probably ignition. I think it's all the original stuff, so it's probably time. All right, catch you in the next one.